Hey guys, my name is Tito. I make videos on personal finance. On my other channel, on this channel, I talk about other things. Like today, when I will be recapping the AMVCA's, the 11th edition of the AMVCA's, which happened last night. There's lots to say. Before I dive into it, quick shout out to everyone who watched my recap video of, not my recap video, sorry, my predictions video, my AMVCA predictions video, which I filmed a couple of months ago, but I only released this week. You guys have really been enjoying it, judging by the comments. Suffice to say, you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for the comments. Keep them coming. Also, shout out to Sheon, I believe her name is. I ran into somebody who watches my channel on my videos at Mega Chicken at some point this week. Lovely lady, Sheon, and I told her that I'd give her a shout out. So what's up, Sheon? It was lovely to meet you. Now, let's dive into the AMVCAs. Let me take down the volume a little bit. Yeah, I will try and make this quick, and I'll try and make this under 20 minutes because I don't want to spend time editing this video. I also have cake with me. A friend of mine brought me cake to the AMVCAs yesterday, and I guess it was for such a time as this because I'm hungry and I need some comfort food while talking about last night's ceremony. Let me start with the big categories, right? Best Actor. My prediction was correct. I think I did predict Femi Adebayo for his performance in Seven Doors. He won. I was so happy. A bunch of people got on stage with him. I didn't really like that because it's a bit distracting. One particular person distracted Femi Adebayo and therefore he did not give a speech. He just said thank you. That person is Odunlade Adekola. And Femi Adebayo is overcome with emotion. He's about to speak, but then Odunlade embraces him. And I guess in that moment, he loses his train of thought and he just says, you know what, thank you. And he turns and he leaves. I really didn't like that. I don't like when people kind of steal your moment or distract you. And especially, you don't need to climb the stage. Many of these people who climb the stage when somebody else wins, it's unnecessary. They probably even don't want you to be there at that point in time. You're stealing their shine. You're kind of like distracting them. Like I feel what happened in this particular instance. And I wish there could be a way for it to stop. But that really did tick me off because I do believe Femi Adebayo would have given a really good speech. Just moments before his own acceptance or his own whatever, he accepted the award on behalf of Chioma Chukwuka, who won Best Actress, and he gave a nice speech. So he gave a nice speech for somebody else, but didn't give a nice speech for himself, I believe, because he was distracted by, the crowd or the entourage that got on stage with him. Anyway, my prediction was right. He won. I was happy that he won. Chioma Chukwuka, I also predicted that she would win for her performance in the same series, Seven Doors, and she won. I was really happy about that. Unfortunately, she wasn't around to receive her award. I believe Chioma Chukwuka is based abroad, so most of the time she's not in Nigeria. And for those of you who may not know, many of your Nollywood faves no longer live in Nigeria. They've jackpot. They only come down to work. And, you can't blame them for not coming down just for an award ceremony, especially when they're not sure that they're going to win the award that they're nominated for. Now, who should we talk about next? Best Supporting Actor, Gabriel Afolayan, who also was not on hand to receive his award. He won for his performance in Inside Life. Did I predict Gabriel Afolayan? So Gabriel Afolayan, really good. However, I wouldn't give him, if it was left to me, I don't think I'd give him the award. Who would I give the award? Actually, maybe I would give him the award. I mean, I don't know what Gabriel Afolayan's relationship with award ceremonies is. I don't know if I've seen him at an award ceremony before. I don't know if he's the kind who really places that kind of stuff highly. I won't be surprised. He seems like I'm just here for the work. I don't care about the ceremony and all the paparazzi and things that happens on the side. But moving swiftly on from Gabriel Afolayan, Best Supporting Actress was Mercy Aigbe for Farmer's Bride. Another category or another candidate or nominee that I was really particular about. I remember saying in my predictions video, predictions video, that I really wanted to win, and her performance was really brilliant. In fact, let's roll the clip of what I said in the predictions video while I take a drink of water. Who I want to win the award for Best Supporting Actress, hands down, Mercy Aigbe. When we saw Farmer's Bride at the premiere, she had a scene. People clapped. It takes a lot for people to clap after your scene at a movie premiere. Yeah, so Mercy Aigbe won, got on stage with a bunch of people, Some of them were cast and crew from Farmer's Bride, which was a really great movie. I think that was the only award Farmer's Bride won.
Around, no, Messi is around. She has to be around. Messi don't play. She don't play. Woo! Come on. Aww. I got it right. I predicted. Woo! Woo! Come on. Love it for her. Woo!
Okay, so I feel so humbled. Standing here accepting this award tonight.
I was a bit pained. I wanted them to win Best Movie. Miss Aigbe's outfit was quite interesting. That huge moon in front of her dress, a bit awkward, but I was really glad she won. I liked her acceptance speech. It was moving. It was emotional. She got the crowd, revved up. And let me take a moment to talk about the lost art of good acceptance speeches. The acceptance speeches this year were not the best, and it seems like the art of writing your speech down so as to make sure that you're coherent and concise and that you mention all the names you want to mention and thank all the people you want to thank. It seems like a lost art. I don't recall anyone bringing out a piece of paper to read their acceptance speech. Everyone is just freestyling it these days, and that's a bit strange. It's off, and it doesn't really it doesn't do you justice, you the award winner, and I don't think it really does justice to the people who you wanted to thank or should have been thanked. And even doesn't make the award ceremony as interesting as it could be, because when you're there and you're freestyling your speech there and then, it just seems all over the place. And this was there was one acceptance speech when Inside Life won Best Scripted Series. Clarence Peters clearly was not around, because from what I hear, he's not very social. So a group of women who I believe were cast and crew of the film got on stage, and I think it was the assistant director that accepted the award, and she said I dedicate this award to Clarence Peters. And everyone in the audience, you could hear the gasp or the shock, and everyone was kind of thinking, how can you dedicate an award that belongs to somebody? You are receiving it on his behalf, and you're not dedicating it to him. So that was off. And I think, once again, this is what happens when you don't plan ahead with regards to what you're going to say, or with regards to writing a speech. And even these people who win these awards and aren't, for one reason or the other, available or on hand to accept their awards, designate someone to receive your award on your behalf and tell them, maybe give them a piece of paper, write your speech down, give it to them to read out, or tell them to write something down, rather than them going to go and represent you and fumbling the bag. I guess Best Scripted Series went to Inside Life. I can't remember if I predicted that correctly or not. Did I even talk about that in the video? If I did, then the clip will roll right about now while I take another bite of this juicy cake. Clarence Peters for Inside Life, Femi Adebayo for Seven Doors, Princess on a Hill, Chetam and Roses and Ivy. No brainer for me, Biodun Stephen. If Biodun Stephen doesn't win, or if Roses and Ivy, more specifically, doesn't take home an award on award night, people will protest in the streets. Okay, so we talked about Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Scripted Series. Let's talk about Best Movie. That went to Freedom Way, directed by Blessing Uzi. She was not had either to receive her award. Mr. Macaroni, he went to receive the award. He kept it short and sweet. Said a couple of his catchphrases from his skits. That was nice. I'm a huge fan of his. So I don't think I predicted that. I mentioned that it could be one of the contenders to win, right? I wanted Farmer's Bride to win Best Movie, but Freedom Way won, and I'm still frustrated that till now Freedom Way hasn't been released to the public. It makes it hard for most of the audience to relate, because most of us haven't seen the film. Some other popular categories. Best Director went to Awam Akpa, but he directed The Man Died, which starred Wale Ojo, and Wale Ojo received the award on his behalf. Awam Akpa also was not on hand to receive his award. That Best Director category was was a bit tough, quite, contentious. There were some heavy hitters in there, but, it went to Amamakpa. Hopefully, we get to see The Man Died, which is a film about Wale Soyinka. Wale Ojo plays Wale Soyinka in the film. Anyway, moving on. The Trailblazer Award. This one, if you watched the awards, you'll know what happened, right? Okay, so yesterday morning, I went to Echo Hotel, the venue of the awards, to do something, to see someone, right? And I shot a quick video talking about who I wanted to win and who I thought should, win Trailblazer for 2025. And in that video, I said that I want Darasimi Nadi to win the award.
Wow. So I'm at Echo Hotel. Not here for the AMVCAs yet. I'll be back in the afternoon. But I wanted to talk about the Trailblazer Award that is given out this sun is serious. That's given out every year. Someone asked me, who do I think will win Trailblazer this year? I think it'll be Darasimi Nadi. Or at least I want her to win. The kid she's fantastic, and I think she deserves it. So yeah, I think she should get Trailblazer Award this year. Yeah.
She's a fantastic kid actor. She's the most prominent, probably most successful kid actor in Nollywood right now, and probably maybe even ever. And she's so professional. She's so good. Her work ethic is A1. She just deserves it. And give it to her now. Give her the award and her flowers now. Don't wait till she's a teenager or an adult. This whole thing in slight detour, where in Africa or maybe Nigeria, we feel that people are too young to receive certain awards or certain titles or certain roles. That no, let them grow up a bit. Let them spend more time paying their dues. That's rubbish, and that's why Africa is the way it is, because they really don't give young people a chance in many cases. Some young people don't deserve it, some do. And I think in this case, Darasimi deserves it. It would have even helped the AMVCAs, because this year, when they opened the show, Aigbe said something about this year they're trying to focus on the younger generation. He had a 16-year-old co-host, a young chap, tall guy, because Aigbe is a tall guy, and that guy was like same height as Aigbe, right? And then I think the Dream Chasers or the Dream Catchers, they opened up with a dance number and everything. The idea, from what Aigbe said, was that this year we're trying to promote the future and the next generation, the youngins, right? What better way to have promoted that or to have made a huge statement with that than to have given Darasimi Nadi the award for Trailblazer of the Year? They gave the award of Trailblazer of the Year to Kayode Kasum, a fantastic director, one of the most prolific and successful directors from Nollywood in the past, say, 7 years. Because I don't know if it was his feature film debut in 2019, Jade Oshiberu's film Sugar Rush, which Kayode directed. That was the first time I heard of Kayode. That was in 2019. That was the first time lots of people heard about Kayode. 2019 was what, 6 years ago? Since then, Kayode has directed some of the highest grossing Nollywood films in recent years. In fact, he's in a very exclusive list of directors from Nollywood whose films have grossed over 1 billion naira. The films that Kayode Kasum has put out or directed, if you combine the earnings of all of them, they're over 1 billion naira. And that's a very exclusive club. There aren't very many directors who are in that club whose films, if you put them all together, the earnings all together are over 1 billion. So suffice to say, Kayode is a very successful filmmaker. So for him to have won Trailblazer of the Year, it's felt a bit strange to me and maybe to some other people in the hall. Because from our estimation or the idea we have of the Trailblazer of the Year, especially judging by people who have received that award in the past, is that it's for the next big thing, the next actor or filmmaker or somebody in the industry who is going to be really big, who is on their way up. Last year's winner was Chimezie Imo, he's been doing well, but he's on an upward trajectory. Bisola Ayola won a few years back. She was already a big deal at that time, but she was still on an upward trajectory. Lala Akindojutu won, once upon a time. In fact, Bisola and Lala, I think they were the ones who presented Chimezie with his award last year. She was also on an upward trajectory. Not to say Kayode is not on an upward trajectory as well, but how much bigger can somebody get, or can a filmmaker get? And we felt like, I think our shock stems from the fact that we think that this award, the Trailblazer of the Year, is like an indicator to say, we believe in you, we believe your future is bright, we want to draw attention to you, we want you to be on the radar of other filmmakers or the world generally, for them to keep an eye on you because we believe you're going to do great things. That's what we believed the Trailblazer of the Year award was. So when you give the award to somebody as successful as Kayode Kasum, who also wasn't on hands to receive the award, it kind of shocked us. So I think maybe we have the public, maybe we have the wrong idea of what the Trailblazer Award is. Maybe the Trailblazer Award is something else. It's for somebody who has really made an impact in the industry or in their field, regardless of if they're a newcomer, if they're on the way up, or if they're already there. Maybe, we need the AMVCAs to explain to us what exactly the Trailblazer Award is and who is deserving of such an award. Yeah, but congratulations to Kayode Kasum. No one can take anything from Kayode Kasum. He's a brilliant filmmaker, fantastic businessman, super creative, and every accolade that he has received, he's very deserving of, including the Trailblazer of the Year award. The irony of it all, to me anyway, is that Darasimi Nadi was one of the people who got on stage to help accept Kayode Kasum's award for Trailblazer of the Year. I was just looking and thinking, Darasimi, is you that I wanted you to be on stage to receive the Trailblazer of the Year award, and you're there technically, but you're there receiving it for somebody else and not for yourself. Moving swiftly on from that, which I dwelt a bit long on, Digital Content Creator of the Year, a very contentious award, and it's a public voting category where members of the public can vote for the winner. Arike Dimples, Taoma, Jide Pounds, Elozonam, and EO Prosper were just some of the nominees in that category. Very contentious, it's one of those categories that everyone looks forward to. EO Prosper won, right? And I think for the first time ever, the winner of Digital Content Creator was not on hand to receive his award. He was around, though. He was at a hotel. People had seen, I saw him when I went earlier in the day to see somebody. When I went there, I saw EO Prosper, which led me to believe that he would actually stay at a hotel. He lodged, because of the awards. And Makida, who I sat next to, she said on her way into the hall, she saw him. So he was clearly around, but when it was time to receive his award, he wasn't on hand to receive his award. And there was an awkward silence. Everyone was looking around. When he didn't climb the stage to receive his award, they just moved on to the next thing. And it was Basket Mouth and I think a lady from the company that was sponsoring that category that were to present him with the awards. And, and it's Basket Mouth, one of the kings of comedy in Nigeria. And EO Prosper's content is comedy related, right? So it would have been like an honor, to be receiving the award. It's an honor to receive the award, first of all, but also to receive the award from Basket Mouth, So yeah, they asked him and he wasn't in the hall. I don't know where he was. I don't know if he went to the bathroom, but he wasn't in the hall to receive his award. Eventually people told him to go backstage and collect his award, which he did, and he came back and he sat down. And after a while I didn't see him, but it was really a shocking moment for all of us in the hall. Yo Prosper, shout out to you if you're watching this, but I'm really surprised he wasn't on hand. I think that's the first time anyone who won the Digital Content Creator Award was not on hand to receive the award. And it got me thinking about this whole thing of you not being ready for your moment when your moment comes, right? Because you can prepare for a moment and all that, but then the moment now arrives and you're not ready for it. It's one thing to prepare for your moment. It's another thing to be ready for the moment. It's another thing even to show up or to be present for the moment. I think what happened to EO Prosper should be a lesson to all creative people. There are several lessons from that experience, and I just wish everyone can, all concerned, whether you're creative or not, should take the lessons away from that incident. It was incredibly painful. I can imagine how pained EO Prosper was, but I hope he gets over it. He has his award. No one can take that from him. And he's a fantastic talent. And who knows, he may have another chance to win the award in that same category or another category in future, as he continues to ascend throughout his career. I wish him the very best. This video recap video has gone on much longer than I planned for it to go. So I'm going to drop anchor here. I think it took this year's award to let me appreciate how great last year's ceremony was. Last year was the 10th edition, so I think they put a lot more effort into last year's own. The musical performances. This year's award was enjoyable, but I enjoyed last year's one a whole lot more. Generally, I can't get into it because of time. This is already a long video. But there's some hiccups here and there. It apparently lots of people in the industry live abroad, and I think that became apparent to us yesterday. I knew that, but it just didn't dawn on me how many practitioners in Nollywood are no longer based in Nigeria for obvious reasons, because Nigeria is Nigeria, so people have sought greener pastures elsewhere. So I think the AMVCAs, my advice to them is to maybe hire more staff, more people, to have an eye on all the nominees so that you know where they're seated, one, and so that you make sure that they're where they need to be at every point in time. Even people who are going to present awards, have your eye on them, let them know when they're going up, let there be a member of staff watching them, just being with them so that they can be ushered to the stage or alerted for when their moment is coming. So that's one piece of advice. So yeah, the AMVCAs this year was good. There are some lessons to be learned, but I was really happy that certain people won, some categories won, some people I was rooting for, and I'm confident that next year's awards will be better, because yeah, it can only get better from here. Let me put it that way. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was a much longer video than I planned for it to be. I'm going to finish my cake, which is now dry, and then I'm going to film my review of After 30, which came out 2 days ago on Friday on Prime Video. So I'm going to do that. Look out for that. Also, go and watch my predictions video from earlier this week, my AMVCA's prediction video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor and like it by clicking on the like button just underneath the video, and subscribe to my channel as well by clicking on the black subscribe button. On this channel, I don't just do Nollywood movie reviews. Sometimes I do other things like this. To check out some of the past things I've done on this channel, you can click the card in the corner of the screen. Thanks for the final time, guys. I will catch you in the review of After 30. I'm going to need food for that one too, because boy, there's so much to say, and I need food to distract me from saying the things that I really want to say about After 30. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in that one.